Connor McDavid, Auston Matthews, Leon Draisaitl, David Pasternak, Mikko Rantanen, Braden Point, Tage Thompson, Jason Robertson, and maybe, just maybe, even still, Alexander Ovechkin. What's one thing these guys all have in common, you ask? They know how to put the puck in the net. If there's one thing that's certain about this upcoming season, this year's race for the Rocket will be like none other. As we all know, offense has been on the incline for the past few seasons. Last year, David Pasternak and Connor McDavid were both 60-goal scorers, which is the first time the NHL has had two 60-goal scorers since 1995-96, which is almost 30 years. 30 years! I wasn't even born then. In this video, I'm going to be making a case for every one of the players that I listed above on why I think they could win the Rocket next year. So, if you're new to the channel and like hockey, subscribe to the fastest growing hockey channel in all of YouTube. It's true. It's true. Well, maybe it's not true, but maybe one day, okay? And with that being said, let's hop right into this thing. I'm going to work my way up from the players who I think will least likely win it to who I think will most likely win it. Starting off with Alexander Ovechkin, Kyle Connor, and Jack Hughes. Okay, so as far as Alexander Ovechkin goes, yeah, he's definitely gotten up there, but he still knows how to put the puck in the net. As far as Washington goes, the whole offense, yeah, it's really tapered down. Do I think he's the chances of him doing it? Oh, man, he's going to have a monster year, and everything's going to have to go right. Evgeny Kuznetsov's going to have to bounce back. This guy's going to be he's going to be very lazy, as we started to see last year. He wasn't moving a heck of a whole lot. So Alexander Ovechkin, here's hoping he still gets in the 40s. I feel like he's going to have to get 60 goals. I feel like that's the benchmark now in today's NHL. You're going to have to get 60 goals for the next, few seasons. Who knows, maybe even higher. Will Ovi get 60 goals next year? Well, considering that he only got 60 goals once in his entire career, which was a long time ago, right when he was in his prime, he's not getting 60, so something crazy would have to happen, but you never know. The crazier things have happened. Okay, next up, Kyle Connor. Okay, this guy has potential. He's a sneaky player, man. This guy's got a wicked shot. In order for him to, be lights out, his team around him is going to have to be lights out. Kyle Connor, he had a kind of a down year last year. He'll be the first to admit it, but man, he can rip the puck. It's crazy. The Jets, they bet on, Kyle Connor over Patrick Laine, and Laine, we all know he can rip the puck, but it just goes to show Kyle Connor is like a very consistent goal scorer. He had an off year last year. Man, if Scheifele and, the boys are, clicking, it could be his first 50-goal season. So like I said, there's a reason why these guys are kind of down here. I think the benchmark's 60 goals. Will Kyle Connor get 60 goals next year? No, but I think he'll bounce back, and I think he'll be a 50-goal scorer. So Jets fans, you got a lot to look forward to. And Kyle Connor, one of the most underrated players and one of the most underrated snipers in the whole NHL, very consistent. And I think he's going to have a bounce back year. It's going to be a career year for him next one. Okay, and last off for this tier, Jack Hughes. Okay, coming out party. Jack Hughes, last year we all saw it, guys. He crushed it. He looked so good for the Devils. He was easily their best player throughout the whole year. It was finally his coming out party, and there's a reason. People were asking, is this guy even worth the first overall pick? Well, he proved it last year. He's on the cusp of being a 100-point player. He almost did it last year. He's going to be a 100-point player for the first time in his career. As long as everything goes smoothly, he doesn't get injured, it's going to be crazy to watch. So New Jersey Devils fans, this is going to be sweet. Who's to say he could be a dark horse, man? He very well could get 50 goals. His trajectory is it's going like this. He could be mid-50s. So that's a dark horse pick. The only reason I put him here is just because he has yet to, last year was his first real good year. Will he carry over? I think he will, but you never know. You look at Kyle Connor, every now and then these players kind of do good. You look at Elias Pettersson, he kind of had a really good year and then he kind of took a step back. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jack Hughes is set to have his first 50-goal season, and will he get 60? I doubt it, but who knows? So that's my first tier. Let's go to the second. The next tier, I have Tage Thompson, Jason Robertson, and Brayden Point. Okay, Sabres fans, if there's any Sabres fans watching this video, let's go. You all know I'm huge on Tage Thompson. This guy's a stud. He's gonna, I think there's gonna be so many 50-goal seasons next year, and that's kind of why, like, the Rocket race is gonna be so fun to watch. I could very well see Tage Thompson having, another career year, and for sure he's gonna get 50 next season. Everyone on his team is just continuing to, grow older, and the chemistry is so good. So they need to keep the puck out of the net, but man, this guy's gonna net 50. He could very well be high 50s, not even joking. This guy's a stud. Can't wait to see what he's gonna do. He very well could be a top 3 in goals, maybe. Maybe, like, we don't know. Like, that's the ceiling for this guy. If not next year, he's gonna be a very consistent goal scorer and just point producer for many years to come. Tage Thompson, you're a stud. He very well could win the Rocket next year. He's got a very good argument. He just needs to be healthy and to just do what you do. Tage boy. Okay, next up, Jason Robertson. That was a breakout year. Holy crap, what a season he had, man. This guy, first 100-point player in Stars history. That's kind of crazy. You never would have thought of that, but I do think Tage Thompson has a little bit of a higher ceiling than Jason Robertson, but Jason Robertson's got a hell of a good, supporting cast. I think there's a good chance as well Jason Robertson could very well reach 50 goals next season. He's kind of like Tage Thompson. They're both, American-born players, and they're both just going up. We haven't reached the ceiling for either of those players, so Jason Robertson, I mean, he could very well be in the race for the Rocket near the end of the season. It's going to be cool to see. Stars fans, you got a good one. Okay, next up, Brayden Point. His first 50-goal season came last year. Okay, talk about supporting cast. When you got Nikita Kucherov, you got Stammer, you got, they still got the boys. The boys know how to play. The boys in blue know how to play. Victor Hedman, he's going to be feeding Brayden Point. So is Mikhail Sergachev, also coming off of another career year. Have we reached the limit with Brayden Point? I think pretty darn close, but I mean, he just popped 50 last season. Who's to say he can't do it again? Him and Kucherov are going to continue to light it up. So there's Brayden Point. He fits the bill. He very well could be in contention for next year's Rocket. I don't see why not. 50-goal season could very well happen again. So that's that tier. Up next, we've got David Pasternak, Mikko Rantanen, and his teammate Nathan McKinnon. Okay, so we all know David Pasternak, one of the biggest beauties in the entire NHL. What a stud. His style's amazing. Everything about him. He's a people pleaser. You love to see it. He smiles on the ice, but besides all things, there's a lot of things he's good at. Putting the puck in the net is probably the best thing. This guy's got just such an unpredictable shot. He can shoot from wherever. It's so heavy. He's kind of got that line A, like Ovechkin release, where he just flicks the wrist, kind of like McKinnon as well. It seems to be a right shot thing. But Pasternak, man, yeah, he very well. I mean, he's just coming off 60 goals. 60 goals. He reached 60 goals this year. That's crazy. I never thought that he would be capable of doing that, but well, that comes with saying, David Krejci, Patrice Bergeron, they helped out a heck of a whole lot last season, and he's not going to have either one of them. So that's why I think I think David Pasternak's going to have a little bit of a lesser year this year. He could still very well get 50 though, but does he reach 60? I don't think so. So that's why I have him in this tier. Mikko Rantanen, the Moose they call him. I don't know how he got that one. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I mean, he's proven time and time again, man. This guy's kind of like Draisaitl in a sense, where I feel like he's so overlooked by the McKinnons, the Makars. But Rantanen, he was the most consistent Avalanche last year. He played the most by far for any Avalanche, and it was a career year for him, netting 50 as well for the first time in his career. This guy's a stud if he's healthy, big body, great shot. He's always at the right place, right time, and he's playing with Nathan McKinnon, who I'm just about to mention. So either one of these guys could very well get 50 goals, and it's going to happen, man. I'm telling you, all these players are going to score 50 goals next year, which is, it's got to be, that hasn't be, how many players is that? 3, 6, 9, 12? Like, when was the last time there was 12 guys to score 50 goals? Someone look that up. I'm too lazy. But anyway, next up, we got his teammate, Nathan McKinnon. Okay, if McKinnon stays, healthy for a whole year, and here's hoping he does, man. Here's hoping, because a full season of Nathan McKinnon right now in his prime could be right, like, he could easily get 140 points, I think. And, he has yet to get a 50-goal season in his year. I think this is the year. Who's to say he doesn't get 60? He really has that game-breaking, capability of just going through guys like Connor McDavid, and his shot is just so sick, man. One of the most satisfying shots in the whole NHL. So So Nathan McKinnon, could he win the Rocket? I think next year is as good as any year for him. So time will tell. But I mean, he's definitely a betting favorite. I don't see why not, right? Unless he's just like, oh no, I'm going to feed them to Rantanen all season long. I mean, he wants to get 50 goals, so I bet he does. So, and for this last tier, guys, we got 3 players left. Do you know those 3 players for sure? Drop a comment down below. Have you agreed with me so far? Do you think this is a good video? Leave a comment down below. I read every single one, guys. And oh shit. And without further ado, the 3 players who I think it's going to come down to these 3 down the stretch. I think it'll come down to a lot of these guys, but like these are the most consistent goal scorers that the NHL has seen throughout the last 5-6 years, and so that's why they're here. Lastly, I've got Leon Draisaitl, Auston Matthews, and Connor McDavid. Okay, we all know Leon Draisaitl, hell of a passer. You know, he's voted the NHLPA. They voted him the best passer last year, but this guy has been one of the most consistent goal scorers throughout the last 5 years. I just said that. What a just unbelievable, balanced player, as you can see. Like, I'm a Draisaitl fan. He can shoot just as good as he can pass. And when you got Connor McDavid, kind of like Mikko Rantanen, when you got Nathan McKinnon, that kind of thing, feeding them. Yeah, I mean, he's going to score 50 goals. I don't see why he won't score 50 goals unless, he gets injured for the next, 4 or 5 years. Like, he should very well, and he could very well. So, this year, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, if you're a betting man, bet on Leon to score 50. That's easy money. It's going to be pretty cool to see. He has yet to win the Rocket. That's one trophy he doesn't have. I thought he was going to beat Connor to it, but he was so close the 1 year. Him and I think Ovi outscored him by 1 goal. And then last 2 years ago when it was Matthews and Draisaitl. And then this year, obviously McDavid took the cake. But I mean, Draisaitl, he's so consistent, especially on the power play. That's where he gets all the goals. And for people to say, oh, it's power play, whatever. He's still putting the puck in the net, guys. Quit being haters. So Draisaitl very well could win the Rocket next year. Time will tell. And then this is the second player I think that has the best odds, Auston Matthews. Obviously, he's probably got the best shot, most accurate shot, the heaviest shot in the entire world, for that matter. Not just in NHL, in the entire world. He probably has the best shot, which is kind of crazy. He's coming off, he just signed, he got paid. Auston Matthews just got paid, and so he's got no distractions. He kind of tapered off last year after his career year where he scored 60 goals in 72 games, something like that. Like his last 72 games, he scored 60 goals, which is crazy. That rate is insane. I think we get that Auston Matthews this year, and that's really why this race will be so fun. It's going to be crazy to see, come down the stretch in March, April, where Auston Matthews and Connor McDavid are, because, Connor McDavid, once he's done it, he wants to do it again. He'll never tell you, he'll never say to the media that, but Connor McDavid's shooting for the Rocket again this year, and Auston Matthews, he wants it. He wants to redeem himself as well. So the real race is between Auston Matthews and Connor McDavid. Those guys could very well score 60 goals. I don't see why not. You got Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner, one of the best playmakers in the world. You look at Toronto's offense as a whole, like they've got so better with Tyler Bertuzzi, Max Domi. I really like their acquisitions, and I think Auston Matthews is gonna like playing with them, and we're gonna see that with the goals that he's putting up this year. I think he's gonna score more goals this year than it's gonna be a career year goal wise, is what I'm trying to get at. And but I could say the exact same thing for Connor McDavid, right? He finally learned, to shoot the puck more, and that's what we saw all last year, right? He was way more efficient on breakaways. I remember the year prior, he was dog crap. Like, he sucked. He couldn't score in the breakaway at all. This year, he was money, man, and we all know with his blazing speed how many breakaways he's gonna get. So it's crazy. I think he leads the NHL in breakaways, and if he gets 20 breakaways in the season and he's chipping it at like 75%, what is that, 15 goals just from breakaways? Yeah, that very well could happen. So who do you guys think? Leafs fans, Oilers fans, Bruins fans, David Pasternak, is he going to win it? Nathan McKinnon? I made a case for every single one of your team's players who could very well win the Rocket this year, but drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear why you think your favorite player is going to win the Rocket. Am I out to lunch when I say that McDavid, could he win it 2 years back to back? Time will tell. So if you're new to the channel, guys, let's freaking go. We're like 20 away from 3,000 subs. 300. Guys, smash that subscribe button. Had a lot of fun with this video. If you like videos like these, drop a comment as well. Let me know. Take her easy. That's all I got for this one. Don't be average when you can be above average. See you in the next one. Peace.